Hello and welcome, it's Ruth here at Artful Stampin. I was just reading the live comments. No, Hazel, don't go to bed. Stay with us, just for a few more minutes. Hi, welcome to my channel. If you've never been here before, please hang around a little bit. If you're watching on the replay, you can always scoot forward to when I actually start stamping. I'm not planning on talking for too long. What do I need to tell you? Happy Bank Holiday Monday for those of you in the UK. Hope you've had a good weekend. And it's, yes, the 26th of August. It's my sister's birthday today. I forgot to send something to her. I'll get that sorted this week. So if anyone knows Esther from Stampin' Star Creations, I wonder if she'll come on. Someone message her, tell her to come on so we can wish her happy birthday. Maybe I could make something for her tonight. So I'm going to be using the final 6 colours of the colour challenges that I set over the weekend. And yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Very bright and happy. I have been working on the class for, is it this Friday? The scrapbooking class. Who wants sneak peeks of that? I'm only going to give them if people say they actually want them. So if you want to book onto that, I actually have one space left on there. Then the other announcement I have to make is that last night I was chatting to somebody who requested class 1. So class 1, I don't actually really call it class 1 anymore, but it's useful to think about it as class 1 because for those of you who are a little bit newer to my channel and a little bit newer to this sort of way, my way of stamping, where I kind of mix stamps up together and create floral backgrounds, the clusters and lines class, which I've just scheduled for the, I just had it then, 24th of September. It is a Tuesday. It's at 7 p.m. my time. So that's very early doors for the South Pacific, very early in the morning. But in the afternoon for those of you who are in the Northern Hemisphere, if you're America, Canada and so forth. If you're in the UK, obviously 7 o'clock for you. And if you're in Europe, it's an 8 p.m. start. So clusters and lines is a really helpful class. And probably there's a few people in this live chat right now. Let's see who can put their hands up and say I've done clusters and lines with Ruth. And it's a very good one just to get you going if you are a little bit anxious about stamping the way I do it. Hazel's birthday was on Friday. Yeah, we'll call it 20. You're 27, not 70. Just minus 50 years. You'll be fine. Yes, happy birthday, Hazel West. Very, very happy birthday. Yay to sneak peeks. Oh, look at those. All the hands are going up. All the hands are going up. Okay, I will give you a quick flash just to give you an idea of what we're going to be doing. So we're going to make 3 layouts. So if you do want to book onto that class, there is one space left. You could take it if you've never stamped with me before, but you do need to listen and do what I tell you in the nicest of ways. Yes, you're going to make 3 layouts. It's completely up to you if you want to bring photos to the table. You don't necessarily have to, but if you do pick out some photos, you may want to decide what colour your mat's going to be, because I am going to give you a template of how to cut up a piece of 12 by 12 so that you have your photo mats. Okay, so, and the other thing I would suggest is whatever colour you go for your photo mat, you have that as some of your main colours for your florals. Okay, I don't want to give too much away, but I know that sometimes giving you a little bit of a hint means that you may feel a bit more comfortable about coming to class. And if there are those of you who can't do this class on Friday and you'd like me to run it again, I've got a feeling this one's going to be a good one, because I love the fact that it blends my style of stamping with scrapbooking, and it was so enjoyable. I had a wonderful afternoon getting these ready for you guys, and I filmed them as well. So it could be that I put this out as a download option. I'll have a think about it. Right, so really quickly then, I'll scoot through the layouts. Now, I managed to find some photographs that I've scrapbooked, and they go back over 20 years to when I was pregnant with my firstborn, and then when my firstborn was a little boy. And Luke and Lois actually turned up today. They were staying for a couple of days, so it was really lovely to see them, because we hadn't seen them since the end of July, which is not actually a terribly long time ago, but about a month ago. And it was so lovely. They I went out this evening to my monthly when I say to the kids, I'm off to the pub, and they go, "What, Mum? You getting to the pub?" Yes, I was off at the pub doing my kit class, and I came back and they were just sitting around playing Catan. It was lovely. They were playing a board game, all of them, and then they were playing pick-up sticks after that. I don't know if you know how to play pick-up sticks. Really fun game. All right, I'll stop talking now. Right. Is this going to go over? Right. Oh dear. Knocking things over. Right, so this is the first one. So yours is obviously not going to look exactly like this, but I will take you through step by step how to create something similar to this. So this was me when I was pregnant and I was visiting my aunt and uncle with my father, and that's my daddy there. So there we go. Hi, Jennifer. Yes, there's a class on Friday. It's a scrapbooking class. Yeah, we're going to make 3 of these layouts. Okay, so then this is layout number 2. And this is again when my Luke was a little baby. Little tiny baby. And then this is layout number 3. And the fun thing about layout number 3, can you see what's happening here? Is that it's actually a little secret pocket that you could put a picture in or do journaling, but it's basically a carry-on of the design. Okay, there we go. That's it. That's all the sneak peek you're going to get. So if you want to do that class with me on Friday, there is 1 space left. I don't know if somebody has put the link up. I'm sure Glenna will do that for me in a second. Hi Glenna, thank you so much for your help and your adminning. Hi Shaz, hi Terry, Lisa, Choose Life, hello. I always forget your name, I'm so sorry. And who else is on here? Kenzie, Hazel, Susan, Elizabeth. Great to see you. Great to see you. All right, now, confession time. I have got, look, can you see all these stamps that I've got on my desk? These were stamps that I used this afternoon and I've not put away. I have cleaned them, but I've not put them away. So what I'm going to do is use these stamps to create a wreath. And again, if you like this wreath that I do, or would like to have a go doing one yourself, I can schedule a wreath class as well. We were trying to find one for the South Pacific, actually. You don't scrapbook. Oh, no worries, Elizabeth. Well, potentially you could chop them up into cards. Yeah, you could actually chop them up into cards. Right, so these are the colours. We've got Lemon Lime Twist, Granny Apple Green, Pumpkin Pie, Poppy Parade, Wild Wheat, and Summer Splash. Really fabulous colour scheme there. Really like bright and zingy and happy. Alright, so to start off with then, I want to just get a little bit of Lemon Lime Twist, I think, down in the background. And to do that, I'm actually going to use the flower stamp from Textured Floral. I will go through all the stamp sets later on. I don't want to kind of keep going backwards and forwards grabbing the case. So, you know, if you want to know what they are, just stick with me to the end and I will go through them all and point them out to you. So I'm just going to see if I can angle this slightly better. There we go. And yeah, I'm trying to get the whole 12 by 12 in, so you'll just have to ignore these bits on the side. Right, going to sit down in a sec. Shall I sit down now? No, I'm not going to sit down just now. I'm just going to get this on first. So, I'll pop one there, then one roughly up there, and then this just helps to lay it out in my head. So I'm using the flower as a background stamp. I'm not actually using it as a flower, just getting some colour down. I wonder what would happen if the mat just, the ink pad just wants to keep rising up. That's better. I'm just putting a silicone mat under it and it just seems to hold it better. Okay, bit of colour down. Oh, it was so lovely. Anne popped into the Zoom yesterday and she had just gone to her craft group. So I got to meet her craft group in Zoom. It was wonderful. Really, really fun. Just had a thought. What would happen if I stamped that and then stamped that in the middle of it? Should we have a go at that? I've never done that before. Actually stamp something. Oh, apart from when we had two-tone flora still around, I stamped that. But I'm going to make up a flower. This is the great thing about stamping. We can kind of create hybrid flowers without, you know, damaging genetics or something. So, right, this is pumpkin pie, which is rather a bright colour. So just warning you. Oh, no, it doesn't look as bright as I thought it would do. I forget that this stamp is rather textured, so it doesn't always come out as bright as I think it was going to come out. I think in my head I was thinking like a mango melody colour, but I forget that pumpkin pie is actually quite a. It's got quite a few levels of grey in it. Okay. Liking that. So my idea was to stamp then this flower from, I can't remember what it's called now. I don't even know where my stamps gone. Oh, Flowers of Beauty. There we go. That's what it was. Right. I'm just going to stick that in the middle. I'm just going to create a whole new flower, everybody. I don't know if it's a, you know, a world record or a world exclusive, not world record, and a world exclusive. Mixing these two flowers up. You can say you were here when, you know, this happened. And I really do want a centre in that. I'm going to use that one. Because otherwise it's in danger of looking like a red donut. So let's get that in there. Oh, that's better. A little bit of texture there. Okay. Oh, that's a mark. All right, so those are the red flowers gone on. And I think it needs a few more red flowers. But something not as bold, not as solid. So this stamp here is very similar to that big one there. Oh, sorry. I love the new flower. You'd like a vase of them. Yeah, you might have to stamp them and cut them out yourself, Terry. Because oh, I don't know. We were in the Zoom the other day. Shaz was showing us her beautiful dahlias. You might be able to get dahlias that are combinations of red and orange. I'm sure you can. Oh, let me just close some ink pads up. And also, I'm going to grab, I need a bit of scrap paper. Let's do a stamp off. That's better. Okay, that's quite pretty. Oh, might do wild wheat centres. This is that lovely little centre stamp from Textured Floral instead of the other one. It's not super obvious, but I like that it takes away that stark white from the centre of those red flowers. And then while I've got this out, I'm thinking it'd be nice to stamp some leaves in there. And I'm just going to grab Botanical Layers. There's no such stamp as Botanical Layers. I made it up. It's Botanical Beauty. Honestly, you have to fact check me. I make stamp sets up. Oh dear. And I think I'm going to set myself a little rule that these leaves are only going to come from these red flowers. Sometimes I do that when I'm doing wreath stamping. I set little rules for myself because it inadvertently creates a sense of cohesion, and it's just a simple little rule. You just decide, right, this leaf is with this flower and that's the way it is, and I'm not going to do any differently. You know, I'm not going to have it come from a different type of flower. I mean, it's nearby to the other flowers, but it only is going to come from that particular flower. And it just seems to work. Hi, Joanna Barbieri. Have a wonderful time. Okay. Fun, fun, fun. And Now for these big flowers, I'm thinking a bit bigger of a leaf, like something like that. So this time I'm going to go in with garden green for that one. You want to know how you cut up? Oh, with the Stampin' Up scissors, Hazel. Yeah, so the Stampin' Up scissors are super sharp, and it's so easy to cut up. But remember to put the sticker on first, and make sure you really take note of the rubber, the red rubber, and it's quite easy to cut this up. The only thing I would say is if you're cutting, you know, and there's, I don't know, a very close space, say if I had to cut between that blob and there, sometimes it's helpful just to bend the rubber over a little bit before cutting, and just go slow and steady, and it's actually much easier than you think. Some people have got those like hot blades, those knives, those hot knives, and they use those, but I've never needed to do that. I'm quite happy just using a good sharp pair of scissors, and the Stampin' Up scissors are perfect in my humble opinion. Yeah, I can't remember which episode it was that I cut mine, and that I kind of did a few, and then I found, oh, I needed some other leaves, and I've bit by bit, I'm nearly at the point where it's nearly all going to get cut up. So. It's a bit lopsided, this, but it's all right. I'll pull it together in a bit with some other stamps. I can see it's not quite circular, but to be honest, if this is going to be made into cards anyway, it doesn't necessarily have to be strictly circular. That's the great thing about this sort of stamping. It's just nice. It's a nice process to stamp in a wreath in a circular shape, but it's not a biggie if I go off on a tangent. All right, so that was some garden green, and then we also have this really pretty stamp here that's also in the Regal Rose collection, which is going to be released very soon. We're looking at, what, 10 days time, I think it is. It's coming when everyone can buy it. So this leaf I'm not going to have any particular rule for. I'm just going to look for the gaps and just stamp them in the gaps where I feel it's needed. I don't know what I did there. Oops. Oh, sorry. Oh, that mark's come off. I don't know what happened there. It might be just ink, that bit. I won't, Glenna. On the 30th. Oh, it's a Friday. Good day to have a birthday, isn't it, Hazel? You've got the whole weekend to celebrate. Are you doing anything nice? Okay, so I still feel like I need some more little flowers in there. And oh, just remembered I've got these ones in here, haven't I? I'll use these ones. Not a good idea to take a stamp off its block while you're passing your hand over. Not a good idea. So the Zoom room is still open if anyone wants to pop in there this evening. Although I know some of you, the UK folks, have got work tomorrow. You've taken 2 weeks annual leave. Wowzers. Good for you. And well done for still working at your age as well. Are you a full-time worker, Hazel, or are you part-time? And what do you do, if you're allowed to tell us? Right, I feel like I need to get some texture in here, so I'm going to use that one from Textured Floral. But I think I'll do that in Pumpkin Pie. Oh no, do I do it in the blue? I've got Summer Splash to use yet. I think we need some little tufts of this cute blue flower. Wow, that can be quite physically demanding as well, Hazel. Let's get going. My ink pad is a little bit too juicy, unfortunately, but I'm going with it. The reason I can tell it's a little too juicy is because this stamp is actually a very delicate, it's a distinctive one, and I'm losing some of the detail because the ink pad is a little juicy. Plus I'm stamping onto a mat, which I shouldn't really be doing, but there we go. Alright, so I've done that. I've got those little flowers out there now, but now I want to add some little pockets of just some sort of frothy elements of this blue. And so I'm kind of looking for some quieter areas to put those in. And it's basically like concentrated dottage. Sort of stamp, stamp, stamp like that. Need to work. I like buying Stampin' Up stuff. I know, that's what Glenna says. Glenna's supposed to have retired and she just likes buying Stampin' Up. Are you a demonstrator then, Hazel? Or do you have a supplier? Oh, Hazel, are you the person that I met at Emma Goddard's thing? Hi, Mel. So these little dots are great for just filling in any little white areas that just need something. Oh, fabulous. I was showing someone in the Zoom the card that she sent me as thank you for doing what I did with you guys. It's beautiful. And I was like, I'm going to frame it. I've got an Emma creation. Okay, there we go. And I could do some little floral dottage, but I'm thinking of doing that. I'm really tempted to do that in the red, funnily enough, because I know I usually say don't do red dottage because it looks like blood splatter. But I think these little tiny daisy things might be large enough, and then I've also got this other flower here which potentially I could mix in here and there. So I don't know, I'm going to go for it, and if it ends up looking like blood splatter, we'll just use it to make Easter cards or something. Oh no, I don't think that's too bad. I think once these are cut up and made into cards or albums or something, it'll look fine. You had a stall in Market Day at my daughter's, didn't sell one card. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Mel. Have you got a Facebook page or anything, or Instagram that you could advertise? Excuse me. Right, so these slightly larger little flowers are from Painted Lavender, and I'm just going to add a few of those in as well. Now, stamping a little flower like this in a dark colour is really useful for hiding any stalks that you don't like having like they're floating. I don't seem to have a massive problem with them right now, but Sometimes I end up with stalks that look a bit odd, so I usually stamp a flower somewhere. Now, because this is a colour challenge, and I can't then just suddenly go, oh, I want to use that other colour. Yeah. This is a very interesting process. I don't know if I've ever done a stamped wreath with a colour challenge before. It's mighty fun though. Right, and ooh, I have got one more little sort of dotty stamp as this one here. Should we do a few of these? Right, I'll give you a little bit of a... You've got marketplace. What's that, Mel? I'm going to do a bit of a close-up for you. There we go. That was fun. So, just a reminder of the colours then. So we've got a bluey green there, summer splash, then granny apple green, lemon lime twist, wild wheat, pumpkin pie and poppy parade. Just going to take myself back out a bit and then just bring this down so that, there we go. And then the stamp sets that I used were okay. So I've got textured floral. I used the big flower for the background, just to put some lemon lime twist down to start off with. Then I used it to stamp the pumpkin pie, which actually, that's a colour I need to add in. I might need to, oh yeah, I'll need to add some more in. So textured floral, painted lavender, I used that little flower there. I didn't actually use anything else from there, it was just that flower. Regal Flora, I used that one and that leaf and those dots. Then some of the leaves from here, and then Flowers of Beauty, that one, and then also that one and the central one. So I'm thinking I could do with a little bit more. I didn't do pumpkin pie again. Now I've realised I didn't add it in. I can see I didn't add it in. It's weird. So oh dear. And it's almost, it doesn't really matter the fact it's a flower or not, it's just a case of just getting some of that colour in there. Just to balance it. Because otherwise you've got these blobs of orange but nowhere else. Okay, that's better. I'm a bit happier with that now. Oh, don't worry, Kenzie. Just use it's a starting point. Yeah, no, just yeah, or just use those three. I think I'll try a wreath for the next challenge. I'm still going through just posted challenge 7. Oh, fabulous! Thank you, Shaz. That's very sweet of you. Oh, Judy's not tried a wreath. Yes, I do have a wreath class, and I am looking to schedule one, but I was trying to schedule one that was good for the South Pacific. So, where are you again, Judy? Oh, on Facebook Marketplace. I'm just reading what Mel said. Okay. Yeah, it is tricky card making because I think my only tip would be that if you definitely want to sell them, have a look at your design. Obviously, I don't know what they look like, so I'm not, I can't critique them in any way. But I would go to a garden centre, go to Smith's, wherever, and have a look at the cards that are on sale there. Take photographs of the ones that you really like the look of, and actually try to emulate them a little bit with Stampin' Up product. And I tell you why I think you should do that. It's because when people go shopping for cards, the cards that they see are usually on trend with whatever styles and fashion in the creative, sort of the arts industries, that they things do. Even in card world, they are there's fashion and things that are on trend. So I don't know, for example, years ago it was owls were on trend. Then recently I've noticed that sort of wispy florals with a bit of a mixture with outline florals, those have been on trend. So I would go and have a look, because I do sometimes think that in card making world people can get very stuck with the mechanics of making a card. So what I mean by that is the fact that we need to cut a card base, and then we have a a border around it, and then we want to stamp a stamp, and so forth, and we end up making cards perhaps either the way we were taught or the way that we see them being made, and we're not actually following any trends. And so if you look at the card making of, say, someone like Jennifer Maguire, actually Martin Mayhem, he was a Stampin' Up demonstrator, he's now not, but if you have a look at the designs that he does, what he does when he wants to be inspired, and it's actually something that I do too, is rather than looking on Pinterest for cards made by Stampin' Up demonstrators or people who love Stampin' Up, is actually you don't look at cards at all. So I would look at things like wallpaper, on-trend wallpaper. I get inspiration from cake decorators. So if you just go onto Pinterest and type in on-trend cakes for 2024, have a look at what's on trend. And fashion, like what are the fashionable colours of the season, that type of thing. Are big florals in fashion? Are little hedgehogs in fashion? I don't know. Just have a look. So rather than creating cards that perhaps card makers do make, look at stretching your supplies a little bit and creating cards that actually the general public see on a regular basis, because then when they come to your store they'll see something familiar, and people like to buy something that feels familiar and safe. They don't necessarily always want to buy something that unusual. Occasionally you will have somebody come to your store who just loves something unusual. They want to buy something that's out of the ordinary, but I would say that's less than 10% of the public. Most people who go card shopping want their cards to look like pretty much like everything else that's at Tesco. Okay, so that's my tip. I hope that's helpful. Yes, trending colours and styles. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, of course. No, Mel, don't. And please don't think that just because somebody else doesn't want to purchase your card that it's any less value. Making cards and selling cards are two completely separate pastimes. A bit like how we say, the other one that I would add to that is making cards, sending cards, and selling cards are three completely different pastimes. Okay, and it could be that you just love making cards, and that's absolutely fine. Now, if you want to go into the realm of selling cards, then all that spiel I just gave, that 5-minute spiel, you need to really carefully listen to what I've said and put some things into practice. Also looking at how you arrange your stall, thinking about what you do when you stand or sit, when you look after your stall. That's really important. Like, I'm really strict. I don't like seeing people eating, for example, when they're on a stall. So if I ever eat, I eat hidden away. Apparently wearing pink is helpful. Also making sure your display is up, that you've got levels and layers to it, that it's easy to understand, that as I said, selling cards is a whole other ball game, and you may need to do some specific research around selling. So, number 4, include collectors. Yes. Yes, collecting cards. Well, I see, it's interesting. I could show you them. Hold on, I'm just going to grab something that I bought. So on Saturday we went to the local show. Did I tell you that I was going to do that? I think I told you that on Saturday, and I bought some postcards, and I was wanting to show you guys. So these are prints. So this was actually on the back of the postcard, so I've kept it because I framed the card. Sorry, not postcards. They were cards, and they were prints of some artwork by a lady who actually was selling bigger prints, but they were quite large, like A3, UK A3. So it's a bit bigger than this. And we just don't have space for that big a piece of artwork in our house, and also they were a little bit more expensive. But we did buy 2 cards that I have framed. Anyway, this was one of the images. Isn't it beautiful? This gorgeous kind of red fox, sort of jumping at night. And then Tom liked this one. This I don't know what bird it is. But anyway, it's got a bit of kind of like a steampunk feel to it. It's got like cogs and stuff, and then it looks like it's got alcohol sort of ink in the background there, and that lovely bird. So what was I saying? I don't know what I was saying. I was just telling you that that's the artwork that we bought. I have 3 favourite pastimes: making cards, buying card supplies, and watching the makers' videos. There we go. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. And also, maybe if you're already a card maker, you could branch out into things like, I don't know, post-it note holders, because those are like something useful. I think because the reality is less people are posting because it's costing so much money. Things like, I don't know if I've got one, or like covered notebooks. Oh, this brings back memories. This was made by a dear lady who was my Stampin' Up sister, and she sadly she passed away a few years ago, but I still have this notebook that she gave me. And she's just taken an ordinary notebook but covered it with paper and things. So think about what could you sell on a stall that's actually useful, but just sort of pimps it up and makes it look pretty. You know, these make great teachers' gifts, or just, you know, I know people just like to have a notebook in their handbag, just to write lists. So those are really useful. And I'm trying to think I've got anything else here. No, I don't. I'm sure I've shown you this years and years ago. I probably made this on a video many years ago. Some of you will recognise the papers. This is from about 13 years old, when we used to sell the big dies. So this was a die that Stampin' Up sold, and I just covered it with paper and then made these kind of spiral flowers, and then I just popped post-it notes on it. So actually I need to get rid of that now. So this is always in my craft room for me to write down who's borrowed things. So whenever someone borrows something off me, I write it on here to remind me who's borrowed it. But yes, things like this sell well at craft fairs. So there we go. Okay, there we go. That's Ruth's video for tonight. I went through all the stamp sets with you, didn't I? Yeah. I have a still die with that shape. Ah, cool. Yeah. Right, yes, but please ask him questions. Yeah, I still got it as well, Glenna. I love it. Yeah, it's a great shape. Yeah, I might make a few more of those post-it note things. All right, so please remember to give me a nice thumbs up at the bottom of the screen, and if you are watching this on a replay, it'd be lovely to hear your thoughts, your comments on this, and I'd love to make something out of this in the next few weeks. I've got so many papers now that I've stamped that need turning into cards. It's ridiculous. And also, please do me a favour, and if you think there's anybody in the world who might enjoy my work, my tutorials on YouTube, please do share them out, because it'd be really lovely if more people could appreciate this way of stamping and using Stampin' Up products. I'm all about stretching your supplies and really, you know, going for it. Oh, good, Hazel. You're welcome, Mel. All the best for the future with your card making adventures. So there we go. Right, I think that is it. I think that's all I've got to say tonight. Yeah, that's about it. Right, take care everyone. Don't forget the thumbs up boogie. Thank you very much. And as usual, if you need to ask me anything, just email me ruthtrice@gmail.com. And if you make something after being inspired by this, please pop it on Artful Stampin Space. I love to see what you guys make.